Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be rating 26 villains from the TV show called My Babysitter Vampire. This was a Canadian TV show that started in 11 and ended in 12. It was first on a Canadian network, then moved to Disney Channel afterwards. They worked on the third season, but it never really came to fruition. So I'm going to be giving you a rundown of each episode, and I'm going to then rate all the villains from 1 to 26. So the first one we have is Lawn of the Dead. In this one, Benny brings back a bunch of evil dead animals, and they kill them again to defeat them. In Three Cheers for Evil, there's a witch cheerleader, and then to defeat her, Benny and Ethan dress up as girls and join the cheer squad. In Blood Drive, there are two witch nurses who are trying to take blood for the Vampire Council in Whitechapel, but they find that Ethan has a rare blood type that is very desirable for vampires, so they say a bag of that and leave them alone. In Guys and Dolls, Jane, who's Ethan's little sister, has a doll that's named Debbie Dazzle. So she accidentally breaks the doll's leg and uses Benny's spellbook to heal it, but in that she brings the doll to life. So Benny uses a reversal spell to bring her back after she's been stealing the souls and turning people into dolls. Double negative. In this episode, Benny gives an old camera to the yearbook committee, but that camera is a negative copy of you after you print the negative out. There's an evil Benny running around, and he kind of like destroys a few things and steals a go-kart. So Ethan and Benny have to destroy all the negatives to stop them. Friday Night Fights. In this episode, Ethan brings back a wrestler coach, Ghost, and he has to win a wrestling match at his school to put the ghost back into the trophy. Smells Like Trouble. In this episode, Benny and Ethan make a love potion for Sarah and Erica, but it goes wrong and all the girls in school fall in love with them. But as the day goes on, all the girls start to want to kill them. The thing just wears off in the end, but they are punished by Sarah and Erica for making the love potion in the first place. Dipod. In this one, the plants attack the school and possess Rory for some reason. There's like this old tree that decided to attack. So Benny had destroyed the tree to free the school and everyone from the tree's influence. Blue Moon. In this one, Benny and Ethan become friends with a senior student named David, who appears to be a werewolf by Ethan's pretenses, but Benny uses a spell that makes Ethan into a werewolf instead. At the end of the episode, Sarah has to give a curse to Ethan to cure him instead of using it herself. Doug the Vampire Hunter. In this one, the boys, meaning Ethan, Benny, and Rory, are obsessed with the TV show with an amateur monster hunter. He goes to Whitechapel to give to film a special episode, finding that Sarah is real, like vampires are real and everything. So Benny, Ethan, and Sarah they're LARPing to um, stop him from finding that vampires are real. The Brood. So the coffee shop in um, Whitechapel turns people into zombies, and to cure them, they make it really cold or like freeze them to reverse the effects. Ethan, Three Geeks and Demon. So in this one, Rory, Benny, and Ethan summon a demon from a Ouija board, and it possesses Sarah. So they used a leaf blower to suck the demon out of her and put her back in the demon world, I guess you could say. So revamped. In this episode, Jesse, who was the main villain in the movie, comes back and tries to get Sarah to be with him, like on the evil side, but she refuses and tells Ethan. Ethan and Benny are going to a dance this episode. So as so at the dance, Jesse mind controls Erica, so Sarah has to deal with Erica while Benny and Ethan destroy Jesse. But in the final moments of the fight, Jesse bites Ethan, but to save him, um, Sarah sucks out the venom of him, making her a full vampire. And then outside at the end of the episode, Sarah wants to go off to figure out what she's gonna do next, and that's where season one ends. So season two, which was in 2012, starts off with the episode "Welcome Back, Dusker." This one, Sarah comes back after for the new school year after leaving for the summer, and it's like finding out who she is now. This is full vampire. In this one, there's a green mist that like destroys vampires going around after ever since the vampire council like came into fruitation. So Benny and Ethan in order to destroy the green mist before it can kill any more vampires. Say will be Maztec. In this one, their history teacher unearths a crystal skull out of the ground near their school, and it releases the Mayan queen. C wants to bring back the sun god, but that just makes the earth like really overheated. So the girls know that they can destroy her using anything that has the power of the moon, like moonstones. So Erica and Sarah use moonstones to defeat her and to save the boys who have been put under her spell. Fame and Furious. In this episode, Ethan gets his learner's permit and buys a car at a yard sale run by a rich classmate. In this episode, the car like kills members of this family because the car is possessed by the driver who used to work for them back in the days, but then he possessed the car because they wrongfully fired him, and then he decided to kill them using their own car. Flushed. In this one, there are giant alligators in the sewers. Ethan and well, not Ethan, sorry. Benny and Rory had to do with this. Rory had flushed his alligator pets down the drain. Then Ben had flushed like a growth potion at the exact same time. So they grew to like giant alligators, and then they like destroying all the pipes in the city. Mirror, mirror. In this one, the school is putting on a production called The Rainbow Factory. Erica gets the lead role, but she's now possessed by a spirit that was in a mirror. And so when Ethan finds out, he also tries to touch the mirror and like gets into a mirror world. So he has to find the about 25 years ago they tried to do this show, the Baby Factory before, and believe that Olivia never got to do the show because it was shut down before they could do it. So now she's controlling Erica, so she can have her moment on stage. Village of the Dawn. Now I don't know how to explain this one, so I'll just read the synopsis. During the annual cookie drive for Jane's youth troop, a creepy troop leader conspires to rid the town of adults and lure the kids to Eternal Playground, a dimension for freedom from adults. With all the grown-ups gone, Ethan and the gang have to take the charge and stop the beast where Jane and the other children are lost forever. But because of the lack of adults in town, Sarah and Erica have to find which satisfy their thirst or they will help Ethan and Benny. Yeah, so that's what happens in that episode. So in Hardy Hotep, Benny steals a pancreas from a mummy in a museum. That mummy comes to life and tries to take Sarah with him to the underworld because he was the only pair to not have a queen with him. So Benny can stop her, like bring her to mind control and stuff. Independent Days. Now, I can't explain this episode either, so I'll just again read the synopsis. After Ethan, Benny, and Sarah boast about being able to handle their adventures on their own, they each wake up alone, trapped in a separate dimensions where they must face their own fears. Sarah's fear is becoming evil, bloodthirsty vampire. Ethan's a psychotic dentist robot from a scary movie, and Ethan's being chased by a cloaked figure. The three find a way to come together, and with Erica's help, Benny's grandma reveals that she was the one that put them in their own universes, to show that they needed each other. However, Ethan was supposed to be alone in his dimension, and as his fear is losing his friends. Benny's grandmother has not summoned any cloaked creature. See, that this means danger is coming. There is danger coming, don't worry. Siren Song. In this episode, there's a girl named Sierra, and sees a siren, and she tries to make everyone kill themselves instead she sings her song. Um, at the end, at the school town show, she tries to possess the entire town, but Betty, Ethan, and Rory make a musical group, and counterattacks, destroying her. Jockenstein. So there's this new hockey player called Bolts. He is actually a Frankenstein version of a monster who has all the best body parts to make him the best hockey player, but he doesn't have a brain. So basically there's like this sports Frankenstein person going around making bolts. So he tries to steal Ethan's brain to give to Bolt to make him like the best. But Sarah and the gang save him before anything happened. How weird. So in this one, Rory finds an Aztec mask that can like make you like a creature, I guess you could say. So in this episode, it's like if you're a robot, you turn into a robot. If you're dressed up as a vampire, you turn into a real vampire. That type of stuff. So Benny turns into a wrestling wizard. 1 second, sorry. Benny turns into a wrestling wizard, and Ethan and Sarah turn into the heads of a Twilight version called Dusk, basically. And they they the mask has been destroyed to counter and to break all the attacks. So the date to end all dates part one. So this is the two-part finale to season two. In this one, Ethan asks Sarah out on an official date, and they find out that the Vampire Council wants to find something called the Lucifactor, since that killed one of their elders. And we find out that the cloaked figure that we saw in Independent Days that Ethan saw is actually their principal, um, Principal Stein. And so while Ethan and Sarah are on their date, Benny and Rory try to find Lucifactor, and they do, but they get attacked by the Lucifactor's guardian, and they accidentally um trap the Lucifactor to where Ethan and Sarah are having their date, and it attacks the restaurant. So they put the thing in a protected box, but then it's taken by Principal Stein. In the second episode, they try to get the box back from the office, but they accidentally get detention, and they find then Stein finds out that Ethan has a seer. So he uses a piece of paper to make Ethan see everyone as dead, and that turns into a panic attack into his house. Back at his house, Benny and takes him to his grandmother, finds out he's under a fear binding spell. So to break him out of it, they try to engage his love for Sarah, but that doesn't work at all. But Ethan tries the spell by himself and breaks it. At the Vampire Council, the vampire head is running with Erica and Rory. Um, they call Jesse to help them at this point in the episode, and they go to the Vampire Council head, where the Vampire Council is held, and they attack Stern, and but the episode ends in a explosion, and we don't know if anyone survived, and that's where the show ends. So yeah, it ended on a cliffhanger. So all of these people, well, my friends and I, we ranked all of them on a list from 1 to 26, and I'll be telling you that list one right now. So my list goes from weakest to strongest. So at number one, number one at a weakest place is the Vampire Hunter. He's human. He doesn't really like fight them that much. He just accuses them a lot. Number two, the dead animals. Again, they didn't really like harm anyone. They just like attacked the main gang members. So Ethan, Benny, Rory, Erica, and Sarah. Number three, the vampire nurses. Again, they didn't really hurt anyone. Just wanted to get some blood. So they just took Ethan's blood and left. Again, not really that strong. Number four, the Halloween mask. They didn't really like again. There's no one harmed. No one got hurt. It was just a bunch of like LARPing, you could say. Possessed Jane. Now, this one is weird because there were no adults in the town. Like, they all got sucked up or something. I mean, again, only Sarah and Erica were, like, affected by it, not really anyone else. Evil Doll. Now, I agree that they did turn people into dolls to take their life force, but, again, they weren't really hurt. They're just, like, asleep. Ghost Coach. Now, he did put Ethan through some, like, really scary, like, dreams. So I guess, like, he, like psychology tortured him, but, I mean, Ethan fought in a wrestling tournament, so. Evil Plants. They just attacked the school for Zoe's story. Didn't really hurt anyone again. Evil Mirror. Now, this one, the girl in the mirror just wanted to be on stage, so she just like possessed the new star, which happens in a lot of movies, to be honest. Siren. Now, yes, she did hurt people, but she was kind of easy to defeat, in my opinion. Giant alligators. Now, this was just a reversal spell. I agree that, but to be honest, it was Ethan and Rory's fault. Sorry, Benny and Rory's fault that they were even there in the first place. Next is the mummy. They could just have said no to all his advances, and the thing would have been over in like 5 minutes. The Vampire Council in episode 1. I want to say the mist was the real villain, but again, it was just a mist. All you knew was like a vampire, a part of a vampire, like their hair or their gender fluids, and they could have been defeated very, very easily. Possessed Car. Now, this is just a rip of Christine, the Stephen King novel. I mean, they just used another spell to defeat it, I guess you could say. So, the camera that was in Double Negative, to destroy the camera, you destroy the negative, you didn't have that problem in the first place. Werewolf Ethan. Now, Benny was about to die in this episode. So yeah, I guess this is Benny's fault, but, like, seriously, why even try the spell if you knew it was gonna work? Frankenstein hockey player. He did beat up Rory and Sarah very easily, and Ethan was about to die again, so yes. Cheerleader, the witch cheerleader season episode 2. So he didn't really harm anyone except for the students, like he stole their souls. So, zombie coffee. Benny did turn into a zombie because a zombie bit him at the end of this thing, and they already attacked the students. But I feel like, yeah, it was a really scary episode. Love Potion. This is very, very strong. Like, the girls have to actually like, kill them. They like pop themselves in a freaking cage to save themselves. Jesse, so this is like talking about the dance episode in season 1. Jesse had grown weaker in this episode because he had just come back from the dead. But I think he's like still very strong. He controls Erica and tried to bait Ethan, so. Evil Benny from the negative. So, Evil Benny himself was a very strong character. If he had more screen time, I would have been a very strong character. Nightmare Alternate Universe. So it wasn't the universe itself that was like strong. It was like the characters in them, like the evil Doctor Robot, the cloaked figure, and evil Sarah. Those were like the monster that they had to fight. Those were the strong contenders in this episode. Possessed Sarah, so Intrigue from Demon. Sarah was very, very, like, she was always a strong character as a vampire, but, like, as being possessed by a demon, she was stronger. She had to, like, scare the boys, which was nice to see. Evil Betty and Stein. So this is, like, episode 1, like, part 1 of the season 2 finale. So Stein possessed Benny to help him control Ethan. So yeah. So in episode 1, he chased Benny and Rory, who had Lucifer, but he lost them and he went into the restaurant. In part two, where he has the sword in his hands, he was a very, very strong character. He was like destroying vampires left and right. He was had all this power, but he wasn't in control. So Ethan was able to defeat him very easily, but we never knew what happened afterwards because there was an explosion. Now, I'm not saying that I hate these characters. They're all very good characters. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like there could have been like more another season just to like, see what happened in season three because at the end of the season we never knew what happened to all of them. Like we saw all of them just disappear like nothing happened. So I want to know what happened to them because it was just like a big blast and like, nothing else. I don't know what happened. Anyway, please like and share this video with your friends and subscribe. Bye.